G'day, Kyle here, Crystal Cove Adventures, and a happy new year to all of you. That's not terrible. Look at that. That's not a bad result. Probably about $10 a gold. I'm out on the creek, first day of January. I found a little crevice. I want to show you guys what I look for when I'm out, so I'll flip this around and I'll show you. I just pulled a button and probably about $40 of gold out of this little nook here. And then I saw that. That is a tiny little boil hole, but it's hard packed. I reckon we're going to get some good stuff out of it. And this is what I look for when I go over it. Tiny little cracks and crevices that everyone else has overlooked produce the goods. Now we've got to clean out that little boil hole there, pump it out. I'll probably do the pan with you guys, and let's see what we can find. Alright, now we've got some of these loose. Let's get some pumping done. Classifier isn't there to necessarily classify the rocks because these are really small and we can just pick them out. What it's actually there to do is break up the water. You do not lose the gold from here to here pumping when you're moving the pump. What you do lose is when it squirts down and flushes back out. That stops that from happening. That boil hole is nearly pump size too. Oh. Water is any shallower. If this water was any shallower, I would absolutely not be able to pump it. I reckon we got it. That's one smooth boil hole. A little bit there. Alright, here it is. And that's the total material in that boil hole. Probably a fifth or a sixth of a pan. Quick dunk. Turn the plastic off. Let's do this. About all it needs because that's all the material I had. Quick look-see, and well, for that couple of minutes and that boil hole, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Well, 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 Mr. Flake. We meet again. Yummy. Well, I've definitely settled into an area. So that little boil hole is just there. Didn't have to move far, and I found a crevice. Buried. But I've uncovered it, and so far the pans have been reasonably good. We're looking at 30 to 40 chunky pieces per pan, so yeah, $10 pans again. I might sit you guys down somewhere so you can watch me work, and we'll see if we can't empty this crevice and get a few more dollary-doos out of it. El Maco screwdriver that I've shaved down. Now, the river's flowing that way, which means the rocks have been wedged in that way, which means I have a better chance of getting them out that way. Awesome. That's sand. It's really, really good. So that's sand underneath these rocks. That's sand. There's just gold. There we go. Homing leech. There he is. Hate him. Zeroing in on me. But they deserve to be here as much as anyone else. I'm just going to move him somewhere he's not going to bother me. Alright, I can see gold. There's a little gold flaky right there again. Because of course there is. I'll pump this up first though. Show you guys a gold flake. Right there. Time to jewel. Got him. Got him, what a catch. He's in the nugget Ned. On that note, I'm going to finish crevicing this crevice now. And then we'll do the pan together. See how good this crevice can get. Well, that's literally all the material I could get out without really going hammer. I might go hammer. I haven't decided yet. Let's do this pan. See what it is. You know what? I could probably just reveal it from here, actually. There's not a whole lot in there. Yeah. 1, 2, 6 flakes. About 6 flakes in that. Yeah, I reckon that's about time for me to move on to a different crevice area. Well, something about that crevice just drew me back in, and I'm glad it did, because look at that. There's still gold back in here too, but look at that. Well, after a whole heap of test panning finding nothing, I may have found something. I only got tiny little flower gold flakes, but you see that chunk there? It's hard packed there, hard packed there. I reckon that'll break out. And I reckon if I break that out, that's going to have some really good gold in it, around it, under it. So I've cleaned up the area here. This is where I got the flower gold from, just like 3 or 4 specks. That's what I expected to do. Look, that's got to come out. Whatever's under that is going to be good. I turned you guys off because I thought that was going to be a task. I barely touched it and it came out. So, next you're going to see is me panning all the material I get from under it. Fingers crossed it's good. Oh, that's it. About a tablespoonful of material under that. That's not promising, but a lot less than I thought it was going to be. That's all the material. I almost reckon I don't need to pan, and I could just do a reveal, so let's try that. Certainly gold there. Yeah, look, that's not terrible. Certainly some gold there, but well, let's keep looking for another one, eh? Figured I'd show you guys how I test to see if a crevice is hard packed or not. Here we have a heap of big rocks going in under here, a series of crevices, and then we've got this little crevice line here. Now if I can do this, and you see how that's like sinking in, and I don't have to do much breaking, although there I do, they may have missed some. That's been worked before, because I can scrape the surface like this and move material. It's been worked before. It's a hard pack, so you can't do that. It all gets stuck. And to prove my point, I'll scrape out this crevice here, and I'm going to pump it out into a pan, and we should get about 5 specks of flour gold, maybe 1 little flake, depending on how long it's been. Compare that to the crevice I was just working, and you'll see the difference. Oh, creviced. That's the material we got out of it. Again, probably enough that I don't need to pan me off. I can just do a reveal, so let's do that. Well, that's interesting. Oh no, that's exactly what I thought would happen. What did I say? Some flour gold and 1 flake. I went me for a walk. That is a boil hole. It's not as hard, there we go. It's not as hard packed as I would have liked, but just next to it, there's another one, and that one was hard packed. Let's get these 2 pumped out. I might do that one first, because I don't think this one's got much in it, and I don't want to contaminate it. So we'll do this one first. We'll pan it out, and then we'll do this one together. As I suspected, that one has been worked. But this little one next to it, everyone seems to have missed. So let's do this one. And I don't know if there's going to be enough material to pan it out, but I'll definitely do a reveal just afterwards. This is what we like to see. Hard packed quartz. That means no one's worked this in a very long time. There's a nice little speck of gold just there too. There he is. This is going to be good. That is a hell of a lot of material to have come out of that little crack. Look at that. It's the width of my finger, and you can still see gold down there. Single flake of gold right down there. It is literally the width of my finger, and probably the depth of my finger, and all this was hard packed on top. That is a lot of material to have come out of such a small crevice. Now, I did not bring my camera stand today because I didn't think I'd find a crevice. I was like, no, we've worked this area pretty hard. Other people have come in. It's the holidays, but no. Here we go. Should be seeing gold by now if it was that really, really good crevicing material. And oh, there he is. Little tiny piece of gold there. Alright, let's do it. I apologise, I'm trying to watch the pan and film. I did not bring a phone stand today. Oh, this one doesn't look great at all. Hey, bit of mercury. There's a specimen. That's not terrible. Bit of mercury, bit of specimen. 20 pieces of flour gold. Well, wasn't the bonanza I was hoping for, but I'll take it. Well, on that note, guys, I'll see you guys at home for the weigh up. Without having a look at my snuffer bottle, I'm going to guess 1 gram. We've had some really good boil holes. We've had some really good crevices. We've had a lot of junk in between. Somewhere between 0.9 and 1.05. See you at home, guys. Whoop, nearly fell off the rock. See you at home, guys.